Anjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Radhanatha Swami Niti Namine. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Jayapataka Swami Niti Namine. Nama Acharya Padaya Nitai Kripa Pradayine Gaurakatha Dhamadaya Nagara Grama Tarine. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. We'd like to welcome all of our YouTube live listeners, our Facebook live listeners, and our listeners over Zoom. Welcome to all of you to this day 7 of Shri Vraja Mandala Parikrama. So before we proceed for today's Parikrama, we would like to announce and acknowledge and congratulate the participants from yesterday's quiz session. We'd like to congratulate Soumya Mataji. We'd like to congratulate Hari Prasad Prabhu and Flavier. So all three of you, thank you so much for participating in the quiz sessions on YouTube by sharing your comments. And we encourage all of our dear devotees to please participate in the quiz so that the understanding is more fresh in our minds. And once we write the answers, they will also be more ingrained within us. So please take some time so that we may get an opportunity to acknowledge you and to serve you in this way. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. And we have the slideshow, please. Yesterday, we walked from Mathura to Madhuvan, and there we went to Dhruva Tila. We saw Krishna Kunda, Dauji temple, and then in the night we stayed at Madhuvan in Maholi Gaon. Today, we will walk from Madhuvan to Shantanu Kunda. So on the way, we will actually go to Talavan, where Balaram killed Dhenukasura. Then we go to Sankarshan Kunda, Kumudvan. Then we go to Padma Kunda, Shantanu Kunda, and in the night, we go to camp in a village called Ganeshara. That's where we stay in the night at Ganeshara. We'll explain and understand all the different places that we are going to. Next slide, please. So as you can see here, we are going to the green is Madhuvan. This is where we start. We stop at Ganeshara. That's where we are stopping, the red one. And in between, the orange ones are the places that we will be visiting. Talavan, and then Kumudvan. We'll also go to Shantanu Kunda on the way and go to the wonderful Ganeshara. And which is this Ganeshara, if you see in the Vrajamandal, it's very close to Bahulavan. If you see the strip that is going, that's Giriraj Govardhan. So we are about 8 to 10 hour walk away from Giriraj Govardhan. Slowly, steadily, we are moving there. So just things are going to get starting to get fun more and more. We'll start going to places that you have heard about in many ways. But today we go from Madhuvan to Ganeshara. Next slide, please. So this is the same path that we are taking. As we said, Madhuvan is on the right-hand side. That's where we start. And if you see, the profile is very similar. It's one of the long walks of Brajmandal Parikrama today.
around 28 kilometers. Okay, so as we walk from Madhuvan, we pay obeisances to the starting point at Madhuvan. Shri Madhuvan Dham ki jai. And today evening we will sing some bhajan glorifying Madhuvan because we are starting from Madhuvan today. And then this is the first forest. Now we go to second and third forests during the Vrajamandal Parikrama, which Lord Chaitanya encountered, which is Talavan and then Kumudvan. So Talavan, next slide, please. Let's start walking with the Kirtan party. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Next slide, please. So now, walking from Madhuvan, we have reached Talavan. This is located around 4.5 kilometers from Madhuvan. And when Krishna performed his pastimes, this place was enchanting with, it was an enchanting forest full of palm trees, which means tal. Tal trees means palm trees. That's why Talavan, which is the forest of the palm trees. This is where Balaramji killed the donkey, the ass demon Dhenukasura. So it's of great significance for especially practicing devotees like ourselves because it represents the subjugation of the ignorance, the ass-like ignorance which Dhenukasura represents. Killing of that within our hearts by the spiritual master, by Guru, who is the representative of Balaram, the Adi Guru. Next slide, please. So one day, while herding the cows, Krishna and Balaram, together with the cowherd boys, they wandered near Talavan. And some of the intimate cowherd friends, next slide please, Shri Dama, Subal, Stoka Krishna, they all approached Krishna Balaram. They said, Balaramji, your arms are so strong. Please relieve us from this demon of hunger. We are feeling so hungry. We've been walking so long from Gokul all the way. Look, we've come to Talavan now. You know what? You can smell some fresh, juicy, ripened tal fruits here. They're growing nearby. We can smell them. That's making our hunger more and more. Please, how can we get? Next slide, please. Then, next slide, please. And then they said, but you know what? No, before that. No, next slide. That's it. Yeah. This forest actually has been usurped by a big ass demon, Dhenukasura. This Dhenukasura is so wicked in this Talavan. He does not allow anyone, I mean, no one, not even a bird or an insect, it can enter into this forest and enjoy these tal fruits. You are princes of Vrindavan. You should teach this demon a good lesson. And let's feed these fruits. Balaram and Krishna looked at each other and they said, well, if our friends are saying that, we will do it. And so, next slide, please. Balaram, he saw big tal trees and he started shaking one of them. Balaram, remember, Dhenukasura, I'll take care of him. And he started, you enjoy the fruits. He started shaking them so hard that all these big, big tal fruits, they started begin to fall to the ground. And these boys, they began jumping and dancing. Ah, now we'll get to eat tal fruits. So hungry. Let's eat, let's eat. Meanwhile, Dhenukasura, he heard his tal fruits falling. Next slide, please. And as he heard his tal fruits were falling, he was outraged. And he started galloping straight to that place where Balaram was shaking down the tal fruits from the tal trees. He went right up to Balaramji and he turned around his hind legs as asses do, and he tried to kick Balaram as hard as he could right in the chest.
As we see here in this picture that Dhenukasura is coming, hearing the tal fruits fall, he's coming behind Lord Balaram.
But Balaramji very patiently stood there. He was even undisturbed by the kick of the demon, as if nothing had happened. And so Dhenukasura felt insulted. What? My kick, no one can resist even one kick from me. And this Balaram, who's this person? So he turned again. He again kicked him right in the chest. Next slide, please. Finally, Balaramji, he said, now I can't be patient anymore. He effortlessly, as Dhenukasura was about to kick him in the chest, he effortlessly took both of the hind legs of Dhenukasura in one hand and whirled him around over his head like a toy. Just by that centrifugal force of that sky ride that Dhenukasura had, his life air passed away. He was dead. Then Balramji, he threw the huge dead body of Dhenukasura onto the tallest of the tall trees. He used his body, dead body, to fell down some of the tall fruits, which were very, very high. And then that tall tree, it fell upon another tall tree, which fell upon another tall tree, which fell upon another tall tree. And in this way, all of the tall trees fell down, their fruits fell down, having kind of a domino effect. Then, next slide, please. When the associates, the associates of Dhenukasura, they charged at Krishna Balaram for avenging their masters. They said, what? You killed Dhenukasura? They grabbed each of their asses by their hind legs, all of these, Krishna and Balaram, and they again whirled all of these different demons and turned them around to death, threw them over the tall trees, creating a panoramic scene that we see here. These multicolored asses, as we saw in the previous slide, they look like big colored clouds that were floating on the trees. Then Krishna Balaram, along with all the cowherd boys, they enjoyed the feast of these ripened, juicy tal fruits. And all the animals, they started coming to Talavan from then on. Earlier, not even a bird, not even an insect would come to Talavan to eat the palm trees. But now, Balaramji allowed everyone to come here, eat the seeds and fruits of the trees. And again, Talavan became a very, very pleasurable forest for Krishna and Balaram's pastime.
So it is said that Dhenukasura in his past life was Sahasik, who was the son of Bali Maharaj. Bali Maharaj, as we know, he is the grandson of Prahlad Maharaj. Now here a question can be asked that why did Krishna not kill Dhenukasura? There's a very deep reason for this. And the reason that is explained by our acharyas is that Dhenukasura in his past life, because he was the son of Bali Maharaj, his name was Sahasik. He was a very demoniac king. And because of his crazy antiques and crazy acting, he got this birth as a donkey demon, an ass demon. And because, of the benediction, the reason why Krishna did not kill Dhenukasura is because the benediction that was given by Lord Nrsingadev, Krishna himself, to Prahlad Maharaj. To Prahlad Maharaj, Lord Nrsingadev had promised that, your forefathers and your descendants, both of them will be always protected by me. I will take care of them. So, of course, when Krishna kills someone, they're actually taken care of by Krishna. Krishna takes care of them because by being killed in the hands of Krishna, they do get liberation. But at the same time, Krishna, even externally, also did not want to commit this, act of killing a descendant of Prahlad Maharaj. Sahasik or Dhenukasura was a descendant of Prahlad Maharaj. So to keep his promise to Prahlad, that is why Krishna did not kill Dhenukasura, but he asked Balaram. Therefore, Balaramji, he as the Adi Guru, he as the original spiritual master, he came and killed Dhenukasura. And of course, Dhenukasura got the greatest of all liberation, that is going back to the spiritual world, because he was killed by Lord Balaram himself. And all of the associates of and the friends of Dhenukasura, they also were killed by Krishna. So even they attained liberation. So it is said that even if we are the friends of a devotee, we may not be devotees ourselves, but even if we may be friends of a devotee, if we are having a good, friendly relationship with a devotee, then even then Krishna is so kind that Krishna will be merciful to us. So that is the glory of a devotee. So here even the donkey friends of Dhenukasura were liberated by Krishna and Balaram.
So at this place, next slide please, following in the footsteps of the cowherd boys, we pray to Guru and Krishna to mercifully please enter our hearts, and it's currently encroached by this demon of lust, anger, envy, false pride, illusion, and greed. Please slay these demons, and consequently the fruits of loving devotional service may be offered to Krishna and Balaram within our hearts. This is how Balaram, Krishna, they transform the hearts of the living entities by using these demon-like propensities in our minds to give the tal fruits of devotional service. This is how they transform this particular anarthas.
So we see here that after killing Dhenukasura, Lord Balaram was so tired, and Lord Balaram lay on the lap of one of the friends, the cowherd friends, and Krishna himself is massaging the lotus feet of Lord Balaram, of his elder brother. Jai Shri Krishna Kanhaiya Lal ki Jai, Shri Gore Daoji Bhagavan ki Jai. So we have a very nice video. May we request Divyangi and Premvikas Prabhu that can we play the first video, the video of Talavan. It's a very short video. It's a current video, and we can take darshan of the beautiful Talavan area. And this video, as we have them play it, give us a moment.
This was sent by devotees who are actually doing Vrajamandal Parikrama. The entire 84 kroshas. Every year, thousands of devotees join in this 84 kroshas of Vrajamandal Parikrama. But this time, not many devotees are there. So because of COVID, only 4 or 5 devotees are still doing the Vrajamandal Parikrama to keep this tradition of Vrajamandal Parikrama continuing. So as they are performing this Vrajamandal Parikrama, they are sharing some of the videos on the way.
So these videos are shared by one devotee. We will show him also. We will be able to have his darshan also. He's a wonderful disciple of Srila Lokanath Maharaj. So here's the video coming up. So as we can see, this is the darshan of, there are only couple of palm trees that are remaining in Talavan forest. because it is the early morning hours, we can't, you can see it, it is quite dark, but this is Talavan forest, and we can take darshan of the tal tree here. So this is how the palm tree looks, and we thank you very much for showing this. So next video will be more clearer. We can come back to the slideshow, please. We can come back to the slideshow. Thank you. So here, Lord Balaram, he is, nicely resting. And then after resting for some time, next slide, please, they come to this particular place called as Sankarshan Kunda. So Sankarshan Kunda, after killing the Dhenukasura demon, and after eating the juicy palm fruits, Lord Balaram came here to this kunda along with Krishna and the Sakhas, and they drank the refreshing waters of this kunda. And Krishna told Balaram that, my dear thou, you so wonderfully have killed this Dhenukasura. And because of you killing Dhenukasura, now every day we can come here and we can enjoy these wonderful juicy tal fruits because of what you have done. You have relieved us and saved us from this ass demon. So therefore, I name this kunda after you. So from today, this kunda will be called as Sankarshan Kunda. Sankarshan is another name of Lord Balaram. So Krishna said that I name this kunda after you as an offering to you, my dear Dauji. And we will find out how Krishna actually made this kunda previously, but he offered this after the killing of Dhenukasura. He offered this kunda in the name of Lord Balaram. So next slide, please. So here, this is the actual how the Sankarshan Kund looks. So this is, so let us go down the steps into the Sankarshan Kund. Let us please, sprinkle drops of water in our heads, on our heads at Sankarshan Kund. And then we see the temple behind there. Let us go and take darshan of the deities there. Very, very beautiful, small, cute little temple. And we can also see the tal trees here. These are the tal trees that we can see, these two tal trees, which we saw in the live video. So these are the tal trees. There were many before, of course, but now these are the only tal trees that are remaining in the courtyard of this temple near Sankarshan Kunda. Next slide, please. Let us take darshan of these wonderful deities. That this is Sri Little Krishna. You see little Krishna in the center is Sri Dauji. Lord Balaram is in the center, and on Balaram's right is little Krishna with a flute, and on the left of Dauji is, Balaram's eternal consort, that is Revati Devi. So here Lord Balaram again, he has his hand raised in giving blessings. And if you notice, one time one devotee was commenting that, when we give blessings like this. But if you see here, this Dauji Maharaj, his hand is a little tilted. It's like this. It's a little tilted. If you pinch it out, you'll see it's a little tilted. So the devotee was explaining to us that it's little tilted because, the way Balaram killed Dhenukasura was by, nicely chastising Dhenukasura and just, whirling him around like this. So Balaram, Dauji, is in that pose, not just giving blessings, but he is, giving a nice, nice beating to Dhenukasura. So this is the position that Balaram is in. So we offer our respectful obeisances to Sri Dauji Maharaj ki jai. Next slide, please.
So this Sankarshan Kund, which later came to be known as Sankarshan Kund, it was actually originally created by Krishna. One day when the gopis, they were dancing and they became very thirsty. So to supply them with water, Krishna struck the ground with his cane. And the cane that we see in his hand, he struck that, and then this fresh water came gushing out of the ground and formed this pond. So if you remember yesterday, Krishna created the Krishna Kunda with his flute near Madhuvan. And here, near Talavan, he manifested the Sankarshana Kund, which later came to be known as Sankarshana Kund after Krishna dedicated it to Lord Balaram for uh, killing Dhenukasura.
And previously, before it was named Sankarshan Kunda, before Krishna, this Kunda used to be called as Vetra Kunda. Vetra means cane. So Krishna, because he created it with his Vetra, with his cane, therefore this Kunda was also called as Vetra Kunda. Jai Shri Sankarshan Kunda ki Jai. Next slide, please.
So now, from Talavan, we walk 3.5 kilometers on the west, and we find the Kunda here is Kumudvan, the next forest of Kumudvan. In fact, the Kunda here that's there, it's named as different names as Padma Kund, Kumudini Kund, or Vihara Kund. Kumud means lotus, and Van means forest. So this is the forest of the lotus flowers. Lord Krishna, next slide. Lord Krishna sported in this Kumud Kund. As you can see, Krishna and Balaram are there. There are swans, and then there are lotuses, and then there's this pond in which these lotuses are there. This is the Kumud Kund or Padma Kund. And Lord Krishna himself, with the cowherd boys, he sported in this. Next slide, please. And he would then, with sweet words, he would summon all the cows to the bank on the pond, and to the cows he would say idri 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 idri, which means come here, come here, come here. And then when they would start to encourage them to start drinking, he would say chun 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 chun, like that he would say, and he would tell them to drink water in that way.
So beautiful the way Krishna, you can see the little calf who is there at the hand of Krishna. It has his little tongue out also. It's thinking that, because the calves would want to come and lick the lotus palms of Krishna. So the Krishna is saying that, three, come here and drink, chun, 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 like that he would say to the little cows and the calves. And Krishna would make them drink this fresh water of the Kumud Kunda.
So then, while herding the cows, Krishna and Balaram and all these cowherd boys, they wandered throughout this wonderful, delightful place. Next slide, please. The boys, they decorated each other with different garlands. As we can see there, they're decorating Krishna as well with garlands. These are made of Kumudini flowers. Krishna and his friends would come here. Here, as you can see, one of the cowherd friends is putting the flower in Krishna's nose, and Krishna is he's sneezing. Achoo! And everyone is watching and laughing, and one of them is eating rasgullas while this is happening. So Krishna again, next slide, please.
These are the delightful pastimes that Krishna enjoyed with his sakhas, with his cowherd boyfriends. Can we just go back to the previous slide, please? So this slide, is one of my favorite pictures. That how Krishna, just by looking at this picture, can anyone say that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead? He is the original. He is the Adi Purusha. Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajam. That he is the supreme personality of Godhead, but Krishna is subservient to the love of his devotees. Can anyone think of putting a flower in God's nose and making him sneeze? Like coming here near his nose and putting the flower and making the Lord go achoo. How can anyone do this? But this is the glorious pastimes of Krishna. That Krishna is complete. He is Raso Vaisaha. He is Rasaraj Sri Krishna. He is the epitome of all rasas. All rasas find their completeness in Krishna. So therefore, as a friend, Krishna is experiencing such intimate relationship with Krishna and his own boyfriends that they are just mesmerized, and they don't treat him like God. They come and shout at him, they come and trouble him, they come and chastise him, they come and beat him, pinch him, do all sorts of things, and they're the best of friends. Anything happens, they know that Krishna is there to protect them. That Krishna will be there. Oh, we have no tension. Oh, forest fire, no problem, Krishna is there. Oh, Kaliya, no problem, Krishna is there. Oh, Aghasura, no problem, Krishna is there. Nothing is a problem for these boys, because every day when Krishna would go to herd the cows along with his boyfriends, he would kill minimum one demon every single day. So this is how the cowherd boys had complete faith in Krishna, and their beautiful relationship with Krishna was so amazing. And just by, remembering these beautiful pastimes, our faith in Krishna can be reestablished, can be reawakened, can be, we can nurture this faith in Krishna by just simply, immersing ourselves into these beautiful pastimes. Next slide, please.
So here you can see Krishna is sporting with the gopis, and the gopis are making garlands of lotus flowers. As you can see, two gopis on the side, in fact, are having garlands of lotus flowers that they have made, kumud, and this means lotuses. During Krishna's time, beautiful water lilies and lotuses grew here. And it used to grow in abundance. That's why it's called Kumudvan. This is the smallest of the 12 forests. So far, we've come to Madhuvan, to Talavan, Kumudvan. It's the smallest among all the 12 ones. Next slide, please.
So here are other pastimes at Kumudvan. We can see how Shri Radha and Krishna are surrounded by these beautiful lotuses and water lilies at Kumudvan. Next slide, please. Krishna, this Kunda is also called as Vihar Kunda. Vihar Kunda, why? Vihar means to, Nauka Vihar means to go on a boat ride. So Krishna, along with Srimati Radharani and the Sakhis, they would sometimes come to do Nauka Vihar or boat Leela pastimes here at Kumudvan. We can see here that, while Shri Radha and Krishna are being served by the gopis, and they're listening to beautiful live kirtans by the Sakhis, there's one gopi who's lovingly collecting the lotuses, which will be offered to the lotus feet of Sri Radha and Krishna. These are such pastimes that happen at Sri Kumud Kunda, Padma Kunda, or Vihar Kunda. Next slide, please. Another depiction of the Vihar, Nauka Vihar Leela of Sri Krishna at Kumud Kunda. Next slide, please. So here we see
that when Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu, in this pastime, can you spot Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu on our extreme right? He is having this vision. When Gauranga Mahaprabhu came to Kumudvan, he had this vision of the pastimes of Lord Krishna and Radha manifesting right in front of him, both of them surrounded by lotus flowers in Kumud Kund in Kumudvan. Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki jai. We are following his footsteps. And now let's play the second video. These are again videos from live from Vraja Parikrama, the 4 or 5 devotees who are going around.
So that not to break the tradition of the Parikrama every year, the devotees are continuing the Parikrama under the leadership of Srila Radharaman Maharaj. And in this particular video, we'll be very fortunate to actually have darshan of Srila Radharaman Maharaj at the banks of Kumud Kunda. So let's have the second video being played at Kumud 1. While we are waiting for the video, in the Kumudvan forest, on the bank of the Padma Kunda, there's a very small temple which is actually dedicated to Kapil Muni. Because Kapil Muni, Kapil Dev, he performed, this is the Kumud Bihari temple. This is, it is here that the temple of Lord Kapila is there. We will take darshan in a little while. Can we play the video, please? Thank you. Yes. So this is the Kumud, this is the Kumudvan. You can see here, this is, the gopis are, gopis today, they are filling the waters and coming. And this is Kumud Kund ki jai. And this is Srila Radharaman Maharaj ki jai.
This is salutations to and obeisances to their determination to continue doing Brajmandal Parikrama even in the COVID situation, and still continuing the tradition of Brajmandal even if there are 4 or 5 devotees doing it. This is the beautiful Kumud Kunda that you just saw.
So now, after seeing the Kumud Kunda, now we are coming to this temple of where we will take darshan of sage Kapila. We can see Kapil Muni here. Jai Shri Kapila Muni ki jai.
We will tell the pastime in a few moments, but please have hearty darshan and pray to Lord Kapila for attracting our minds to this beautiful place.
Again, taking darshan of Kumud Kunda, it is said that according to scriptures, that if we take bath in the Kumud Kunda, or if we just sprinkle waters of the Kumud Kunda on our head, it is said that all the imports of the Vedic literatures is automatically awakened in our heart. So let us, with that mood, sprinkle 3 drops of water at least on our head. And if we can, let us take bath at Kumud Kunda. So this is the Kumudvan, Kumud village, and Kumud Kunda. Jai Shri Kumud Kunda ki jai. Thank you so much for this. So it is said that Mahamuni Kapil Dev, not the cricketer, but Kapil Rishi, he is the one who actually he performed lots of austerities here on the banks of Kumud Kunda, on the banks of this particular Kumud Kunda and in the forest of Kumudvan. So that is why this temple is, it's a very small temple, but here Lord Kapila used to worship Sri Krishna, and he used to do aradhana of the Lord here at this place in Sri Kumud Kunda. So we can continue the PowerPoint. Thank you very much. So from here, we start walking. It is a very, very long stretch of walk. Remember, we've almost walked around 9 kilometers already to this place. When we started from Madhuvan till we come to Kumudvan, we've already started walking, and we walked around 9 kilometers. And from here, there are several villages in between, but the sun is rising, the sun is nice and bright, but in this hot sun also we just keep walking, because we are in each other's blissful association while singing and dancing on the roads of Vraja. We will arrive at our next destination, which is Sri Shantanu Kunda. Can we have the next slide, please? So as you can see, the devotee with the blue kurta, the blue upper garment with the stick with the yellow bead bag, that is Ishtadev Prabhu ki jai. And it is by his mercy that we are getting all these videos. He is so merciful, so kind. He is sending us all these videos every day of whatever parikrama places he's going to, and he's sending those to us personally. So he
is one of the main organizers of the Brajmandal Parikrama every year, and also Navadvip Mandal Parikrama every year.
And even Jagannath Puri Parikrama. Yes. He is like the Parikrama man. So he's always there with Srila Radharaman Maharaj. So we take his blessings and thank him for the video. And next slide, please. We are now walking towards Shantanu Kunda.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hariva. So now, next slide, please. We now come to Shantanu Kunda. This is one of the kundas where Krishna and Balaram used to bring their cows to drink the cool and refreshing waters. While the cows drank water from the kunda and rested under the shade of the trees. Next slide, please. This is the actual darshan of Sri Shantanu Kunda as it looks today. It's a very, very, very beautiful kunda. We will show you a video also in the end. So this is Sri Shantanu Kunda. Let us walk down the steps and take 3 drops of water on our head and sprinkle water on our head, taking blessings from Shantanu Kunda. Next slide, please. After drinking the waters from Shantanu Kunda, the cows, after so much of walking, just like we are also, after so much walking, we would be so tired. So sitting and relaxing on the banks of the Shantanu Kund is what the cows would do. And you can see Krishna also lying down almost on the laps of the cows, the loving embrace of the cows. How dear are the cows to Krishna. Such a wonderful depiction of the love between the cows and Sri Krishna. So after Krishna and Balaram and the Sakhas would rest for a while at Shantanu Kunda, next slide please, they would then continue to engage in beautiful games. They would imitate the peacocks, they would imitate the cuckoos singing, they would jump like frogs, they would do all these different games they would play on the banks of the Shantanu Kunda.
Next slide, please. So this is the place where King Shantanu, he married Ganga Devi, where King Shantanu, he was the king of Hastinapura. So we'll come to know how Shantanu Kunda is related to this particular pastime in a few minutes of King Shantanu. Shantanu was the father of Bhishma Dev. This kund is named after Shantanu Maharaj. It's formed in the shape of a moat that surrounds a small hill where King Shantanu actually performed penance. Not that he got married. He got married to Ganga Devi on the banks of Ganga, but he actually performed penance here and also worshipped Surya Narayan, sun god, in order to get a worthy son who will be unequaled in the world. And then after he returned to his kingdom, Shantanu, king, he married the goddess Ganga Devi, and then she gave birth to a son named Devavrata. Next slide. This Devavrata, he became later known as Bhishma Dev. This is when Devavrata was born. He actually grew up with Mother Ganga. But then when he came of age, Mother Ganga handed him over to Shantanu Maharaj. And so Devavrata's father, Shantanu, he again fell in love with the daughter of a fisherman, Satyavati. And in order for Shantanu to get married to Satyavati, next slide, please. Satyavati, as you can see, Satyavati is there, the daughter of a fisherman. Her father is also there. They said, well, King Shantanu, if you want to get married to Satyavati, then condition is that the daughter's firstborn should get the throne of Hastinapur. So then in order to convince Satyavati's father that neither Bhishma Dev nor his descendants would claim their rights on the throne of Hastinapur, Devavrata, which is Bhishma, he declared that he would never get married and would instead take the strict vow of celibacy. That is when he came to be known as Bhishma. Next slide, please. He preferred to remain instead lifelong brahmachari. As soon as Devavrata made his declaration of this lifelong celibacy, all the demigods began to shower flowers from the sky, and they started chanting Bhishma, Bhishma. Bhishma means intense. This is such an intense vow just for your father. Bhishma, Bhishma. And so Devavrata came to be known as Bhishma Dev. This term Bhishma is used to glorify someone who has taken a very great vow. And upon hearing this vow, the fisherman immediately agreed to give his daughter Satyavati in marriage to King Shantanu. And then from that day onwards, Devavrata came to be known as Bhishma. He's still revered today as one of the foremost Vedic authorities that has ever lived. He's known as one of the 12 Mahajans. Next slide. Mahajan is Maha means great, Jana means personality. Mahajan refers to a very great personalities who know the import of the Vedic literatures. Bhishma Dev, Bhishma Pitama, he is a pure devotee of Krishna. And Krishna actually himself was present when Bhishma Dev departed from this world. Next slide, please. And Bhishma Dev, he offered beautiful prayers to Krishna while he was departing. He had the benediction of, of deciding when he will leave his body. And so even though he was on the bed of arrows for the entire time of the Mahabharata war, very early in the Mahabharata war, he was sitting on the bed of arrows. He was defeated by Arjuna in one sense, and by Krishna also. There's a beautiful pastime like that. But he decided, I will not leave my body, because he had that power, until I can see Krishna face to face.
And then after the battle of Kurukshetra, when Maharaj Yudhishthir was coronated as the crown prince, as the king of Hastinapur, at that time Krishna said, let us all go and see Bhishma Pitama. Because Krishna, as the greatest reciprocator with his pure devotees, Krishna knew the heart and desire of Bhishma Pitama. So he asked, the Pandavas to dress up very nicely, because Bhishma Pitama's greatest desire was to see the Pandavas happy. So Krishna said that please let us make him happy in his final hour. So they dressed as nice, kings. They dressed up very nicely. As we see here, Arjuna, Bhishma Pitama was very thirsty. He shot an arrow in the ground and gave Bhishma Pitama water to drink. And Krishna is personally placing his hand and blessing Bhishma Pitama like this. So during this time, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, in Canto 1, Chapter 9, which is entitled Bhishma Pitama Passes Away, there are very beautiful prayers that, Pitama Bhishma, sings in glorification of Krishna. So Bhishma Pitama says, let me now invest my thinking, my feeling, and willing, which were so long engaged in different subjects and occupational duties, in the all-powerful Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. He is always self-satisfied, but sometimes, being the leader of devotees, he enjoys transcendental pleasure. Next slide, please. He enjoys transcendental pleasure by descending to the material world, although from him only the material world is created. So we'll sing this verse 32. Next slide, please. Shri Bhishma Uvacha Iti Matirupakalpita Vitrishna Bhagavati Satvata Pungave Vibhumni Swasukham Pagate Kvachid Vihartum Prakritimupeyushiyad Bhava Pravaha. Next slide, please.
Shri Krishna is the intimate friend of Arjuna. This is the next verse that Bhishmadev glorifies Krishna. He has appeared on this earth in his transcendental body, which resembles the bluish color of the tamal tree. Next slide, please. His body attracts everyone in the three planetary systems, the upper, the middle, and lower. Next slide, please. May his glittering yellow dress and his lotus face, covered with paintings of sandalwood pulp, next slide, please, be the object of my attraction, and may I not desire fruited results. Next slide, please.
So this is text 33.
Tribhuvana kamanam tamala
Ravikara Gauravaram Dadhane Vapuralaka Kula Vritana Ajam Vijaya Sakhera Tirastu Me Anavadya. Jai Shri Bhishma Stuti Ki Jai.
Beautiful Krishna. Just as yesterday Narad Muni told and described to Dhruva Maharaj, just remember the beautiful, meditate on the beautiful form of Krishna as the bestower of all benedictions. So let's meditate on this beautiful lotus face of Krishna, his lotus eyes, his lotus mouth, his lotus lips. Everything is so madhura, so sweet.
So here we can see how Bhishma Dev is saying, Tribhuvana Kamanam Tamala Varanam. Tamala Varanam, that Krishna is the complexion of Tamal tree, Tamala Varanam. Ravikara Gauravara Ambaram Dadhane. So beautiful, so mesmerizing beauty. Krishna has. No one in the entire creation can have such, captivating beauty that can just steal our hearts. Krishna can just steal our hearts. This is that manifestation of Sri Krishna's transcendental beauty as glorified by Pitama Bhishma. Next slide, please.
So this is the lotus feet of Krishna, which is the destination of loving destination of all the devotees. How fortunate this calf is to be able to drink the water that is washing the lotus feet of Krishna.
Next slide, please. Oh, no, can we go back to the previous slide? Can we go back to the previous slide? And can we play the third video? Can we please play the third video here?
While we are preparing for the third video, even today, it is a very popular tradition amongst the Vrajbasis who do not have children to take bath in Shantanu Kunda, this place that we have come, and then climb the hill to offer puja at the Shantanu Bihari Mandir. So we will have darshan of the Shantanu Bihari Mandir now, while praying to be blessed with a good son or daughter like Bhishma Dev, who is a devotee of the Lord. But even otherwise, we can actually pray to here at Shantanu Kunda, pray to Shantanu Maharaj, pray to Surya Narayan, pray to Krishna to please attract our minds and hearts and grant us the spiritual strength to just consider your lotus feet as our destination and not get wavered from that particular destination that we have. Be able to please our Guru Vargas and Srila Prabhupada.
Can we play the third video, please?
Yeah, we are waiting. While we are waiting for you to play the third video, I was just saying this. I hope you're getting ready to play the third video. Till you are ready, we will keep.
Right. So this is the Shantanu Bihari temple. It's okay. Please take your time. Sometimes playing a video can really be a painstaking service. We are sorry to put you under this trouble, but please
we
forgive
continue to
us.
pray to Shantanu Maharaj. We are doing it in our manas, that to Krishna, to Bhishma Dev.
Jai. So here we see the Shantanu Kunda, as we said, that the temple is actually, you know, located on a little hill. So from the hill, you can play the video, please. So from the hill, we can see darshan of the Shantanu Kund, the green waters of the Shantanu Kund. And
there's this temple, Shantanu Bihari temple.
Here from where the video is being taken, then we climb the stairs, and this is the Shantanu Bihari Ji temple here on top of the hill. And we see monkeys here. Of course, people come here, Brajbasis, and people from all over the world actually come here if they want to ask for the desire of good children. They come and pray here at this temple where Shantanu Maharaj performed his austerities on the banks of this Kunda, Shantanu Kunda, to get such a wonderful son as Pitama Bhishma, as Devavrata. So we can see the beauty of Sri Vrajadham from here as we were taking darshan of the beautiful Shantanu Kunda. Thank you so much for this video. So we can go back to the slides. Thank you very much. So now from Shantanu Kund, we now start walking towards our next destination, which is our final destination for tonight. Next slide. We cross through this village called as Ganeshara. Our staying place will be around 2.5 kilometers walk from Shantanu Kunda. So in this beautiful village of Ganeshara, 5,000 years ago, the Brajbasis, they grew beautiful, colorful, and fragrant flowers. And next slide, please. They had, flower gardens of roses, marigolds, Rajnigandha. And even today, when we pass by this village, we can see many, many gardens, and there's a very beautiful aroma in the air of fresh flowers when we pass through this village. It's very, very nice. And the Brajbasis here, they are so loving because, by the time we are passing through this village, at least us, we were the last, in the Parikrama when we were coming here. And the Brajbasis are so kind. Their doors are never closed. They're always with open doors. They're sitting there with, one nice pot of fresh, sweet water, and they would offer us a seat. Come and sit for some time. Please sit. And we would sit, and they would give us water. This is the love of the Brajbasis, that they are so loving, so caring, and so merciful. Next slide, please. So walking through this village of Ganeshara, we come to our destination today, where we will be staying at this village in this camp here, our campsite at Sri Ganeshara. Jai Sri Ganeshara ki jai. And tomorrow we will start our walk from here, when we are going to the journey of the center of the universe, which is Sri Radha Kund ki jai. Next slide, please. So today we traveled from Madhuvan to Ganeshara, and on the way we covered 2 more forests. The first forest being Talavan, and then Kumudvan is the 3rd forest of Sri Vrindavan Dham that we covered, and we are now stopped at Ganeshara. Next slide, please. So this is the map of our walk from Madhuvan to Ganeshara. Next slide, please. So today we covered
Madhuvan to Shantanu Kund. We went to Talavan. Sankarshan Kunda we saw, where they took rest after killing Dhenukasura. Kumudvan, Padma Kunda in Kumudvan, Shantanu Kunda. Then we came there, heard the wonderful prayers of Bhishma Dev, and then the Ganeshara village where we stayed tonight. And tomorrow we start walking another long walk to Sri Radha Kunda. On the way, we also go to Bahulavan. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. We'll end the slideshow here. And here are the quiz questions for today. Please, we request all of you to kindly answer these quiz questions in the Facebook and the YouTube page, and we'll be happy to announce your names. First, how did Talavan get its name? Second, who was Dhenukasura in his previous birth, and why was he not killed by Lord Krishna?
Third, how did Sankarshan Kund manifest and what is it also called as? Fourth, what is Kunda also known as, and what pastime would Lord Krishna perform here with the gopis?
Fifth, what benediction is offered to one who takes bath in Kunda? Sixth, what is the significance of Shantanu Kund?
Seventh, how many forests have we covered in the Parikrama so far? So we thank you so much, Divyangi and Prem Vikas Prabhu, for these beautiful quiz questions. We request the devotees to please, give your answers in the YouTube comment section so we may get an opportunity to announce your name. So today, because we request the Madhurashtakam, yes, thank you very much. This song we will sing today in glorification that we started from Madhuvan and we came here to Shantanu Kunda, passing through Talavan, eating the nice juicy fruits of Talavan. You know, that Balaramji, by his mercy, we were able to taste. And now, so in glorification of all this sweetness, we thought of, singing Sri Madhurashtakam for the pleasure of Sri Krishna, in glorification of Sri Krishna and Sri Balaramji.
Also, because Bhishma Dev so wonderfully glorified Krishna about his sweetness. So today we sing Madhurashtakam.
So this Madhurashtakam is glorifying Sri Krishna, that how every part of Krishna's body, every action of Krishna is, so sweet, that he is the emperor of sweetness.
This is composed by Sri Vallabhacharya, and we'll sing this beautiful song.
And right after the bhajan, we will open the lines for comments. Adharam madhuram vadanam madhuram nayanam madhuram hasitam madhuram hridayam madhuram gamanam madhuram madhuradhipate akhilam madhuram vachanam madhuram charitam madhuram vasanam madhuram valitam madhuram chalitam madhuram dhamitam madhuram madhuradhipate rakhilam madhuram Renur madhura, Renur madhura, Palir madhura, Pado madhura, Nrityam madhuram, Sakhyam madhuram, Madhuradhipate, Akhilam madhuram. Geetam madhuram, Peetam madhuram, Bhuktam madhuram, Suktam madhuram, Rupam madhuram, Tilakam madhuram, Madhuradhipate, Akhilam madhuram. Karanam madhuram, Taranam madhuram, Haranam madhuram, Ravanam madhuram, Vamitam madhuram, शमितं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरम् गुञ्जा मधुरा माला मधुरा यमुना मधुरा वीची मधुरा सलिलं मधुरं कमलं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरम् गोपी मधुरा लीला मधुरा युक्तं मधुरं भुक्तं मधुरं दृष्टं मधुरं शिष्टं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरम् गोपा मधुरा गावो मधुरा यष्टिर्मधुरा सृष्टिर्मधुरा दलितं मधुरं फलितं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरम् मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरम् मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरम्
Shri Madhurashtakam ki
जय जय श्री श्री कृष्ण भगवान की जय जय श्री दाऊ जी महाराज की जय श्री तालवन मधुवन तालवन and Kumudvan ki jai. Hari Bol. So let us open the lines.
Questions or comments?
Kirti?
Garima.
Garima, yes, better.
Hare Krishna Mataji Prabhuji. Nah, Dharma Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. You know, I was missing Talavan. I really wanted to see it. And we saw it today. I was really happy today.
Oh.
Nah.
Have you been to Talavan before?
Never.
So today you've been there. So don't say never. You've already been there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I have one question.
Yes.
Which yuga did Krishna come in?
Dwapara.
Dwapar Yuga.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is the second yuga or third?
Yeah, supposed to be the second yuga, but in this millennium, it's the third yuga.
Oh, okay.
That's why
Dwapar
means two, and Treta means three. So, but this time in this millennium, it's changed because of Gautam Rishi and some other
many other reasons are there. But yeah.
While you were giving the lecture, I made the Gornitai's necklace.
Wow, so pretty. So pretty. Very nice.
I got a little bit help from my mom.
Okay, a little bit help. Very nice. Thank you for acknowledging that, Beta. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Kirti?
Hare Krishna Mataji Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, Madhuvan, Gauranga.
Hari Bol.
I really liked today's class. I really liked the Talavan place that we went to. Like in Little Krishna, when I used to watch it, it was all like animated, and it's really nice to see like in real life. So I have one question. So I think in the class it was mentioned that Nrsimhadev said he would protect all of Prahlad's
Descendants.
upcoming descendants and all those people. So Hiranyakashipu, he's basically Prahlad's dad, and he was a bad he's kind of bad, so he's a bad person. How could Nrsimhadev protect his past ancestors, because Hiranyakashipu was like part of one, and he's the one who's been torturing Prahlad? How will Nrsimhadev still protect his ancestors?
Very, very good question, Kirti. Very good question. You see, when after Lord Nrsimhadev killed Hiranyakashipu, Nrsimhadev was so pleased because no one was able to even approach Lord Nrsimhadev because everyone was so afraid. Even, Lakshmi Devi, the wife of Lord Narayan, she also said, no, this is not my husband. He doesn't look so fierce. And she didn't also want to come. So the little Prahlad was sent by Narad Muni. And little Prahlad was completely fearless. And he came with a garland to, in front of Lord Nrsimhadev. And he garlanded Lord Nrsimhadev. And Nrsimhadev, seeing little Prahlad, he was so happy. He just picked him up and embraced and was licking him, like lions, they lick their little cubs like that. So Prahlad was licked by Lord Nrsimhadev like that. And then Nrsimhadev said, my dear Prahlad, I'm so happy with you. I'm so pleased with you. Please ask me any benediction. So Lord Nrsimhadev said this to Prahlad, and Prahlad Maharaj said that, my dear Lord, I don't want anything. That was his first response, that I don't want anything. You have appeared for me. What else do I want? I don't want anything else. Then Nrsimhadev insisted, no, my dear Prahlad, ask me for a benediction. And the first thing Prahlad asked was that, please, I know my father has tortured not only me, but everyone. He has tortured, he was not a good person. But please, can you please deliver my father? So hearing this, heartfelt plea of little Prahlad, that time Nrsimhadev said that, what are you speaking about delivering just your father? I promise that because you have appeared, my dear Prahlad, there's a devotee like you in the family of these demons. So the 7 previous and the 7 coming generations, I will protect them. So that was the promise that Nrsimhadev gave to Prahlad Maharaj. Actually, some say it is 7 before and 14 upcoming. So that way it is 21 total generations, 21 generations.
Or some say 10 before, 10 later, and 1 current, that's 21.
So however you want to take it, but 21 generations, Lord Nrsimhadev promised to take care of Prahlad Maharaj. That was the glory of Prahlad Maharaj. How beautifully, Prahlad Maharaj was not even concerned about himself, but he just wanted the deliverance of others.
Thank you so much, Mataji Prabhuji, for a wonderful session. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, beta. Thank you. Hari Bol. Bhakti Priya.
Hare Krishna, Mataji and Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat, beta.
Please accept my humble obeisances. Dhenukasura was the son of Bali Maharaj. Due to what reason he became a demon in his next life, and in his previous life, please tell his name also, more details about him.
So in the previous life, his name was Sahasik. Sahasik was the son of Bali Maharaj. And he had gone to one of the mountains, I think Gandhamadana mountains, where Durvasa Rishi was performing tapasya. And he was performing tapasya in such a way that there was an ant hill on Durvasa Muni. So he could not see that this is Durvasa Muni or who is there. He just saw an ant hill. And while he was there, he was, he was enjoying with some women. And as a result, Durvasa Muni got disturbed in his meditation. And so he came out of that ant hill And then he said, because you are enjoying in this way in ignorance, may you become the epitome of ignorance, an ass. And then this Sahasik, he was like, please forgive me. I didn't realize that you were here performing meditation. Please forgive me. And then so um, Durvasa Muni said, okay, I will forgive you, but the spoken word cannot be taken away. But after 400,000 years, Balaram will come and liberate you and deliver you, because Krishna cannot liberate you, cannot deliver you. He would want to, but he would not want to, kill you in that form as well. But Balaram, the Adi Guru, he can do that. And so that is the whole pastime of how Sahasik, the son of Bali Maharaj, became Dhenukasura.
Hope that answers your questions.
And Prabhuji,
Yes?
Prabhuji, then what about Kamsa? Lord Krishna killed Kamsa. Then did he got delivered or not?
Yes, he was a demon called Kalanemi. And so whoever is killed by Krishna, he gets delivered. They get delivered because Prabhupada explains Krishna's love and his enmity, his friendship and enmity are absolute. Anyone who's Krishna's friend, they get delivered. Anyone who's Krishna's enemy, they also get delivered. Although their level of deliverance may be different in terms of how they're liberated, how they come to spiritual world or not, but they do get delivered, yes. Just because of Krishna's presence, Krishna's touch. And so Krishna chooses his enemies wisely. Those who really, really deserve the deliverance, he goes and kills them.
Okay.
For all of the all the little robbers or people who are small demons, Krishna just kills through his material energy. He doesn't come personally. Personally, he comes only for those who he wants to deliver.
Thank you, Bhakti Priya. Rushan Prabhu, you have a
Yes,
question?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji and Mataji. I had a question that as you told that Narsingha Deva had given benediction to Prahlad Maharaj that he will save his ancestors, protect them. So why didn't Krishna protect Dhenukasur when Balram was killing him?
Well, see, Krishna, as Prabhu was explaining, Krishna's protection comes in many ways. Krishna can kill someone and protect them also.
So he allowed Dhenukasur to be purified, if you could say, in one sense. But he said that he will not actually, he will protect their devotion in one sense. He'll protect them as well, everything that they have. But in this way, that's why he personally did not kill. But he had to be delivered, because otherwise Dhenukasura would have been in the ass form. Would Krishna prefer that Dhenukasur, that Sahasik, the son of Bali, remain as an ass demon? Or would he prefer that he should be delivered from this ass body, demoniac body? So Krishna wanted that he be delivered from this curse. But to deliver from the curse, Krishna cannot kill him, because that's what he has promised. So he wanted him to be delivered from that curse, but because he cannot kill, he asked Balaram to kill him. So in that way, he protected by delivering him from this curse, that's why he didn't intervene, because he was being delivered from the curse. But he could not deliver from the curse by killing him. He delivered from the curse by allowing Balaram to kill him.
Okay, Mataji and Prabhuji. I also wanted to ask that I've heard that Putana was the daughter of Bali Maharaj in her previous life.
Sister.
Yes,
She was the
sister. Yes, sister. Sorry.
She was the sister. We will be talking about Putana tomorrow when we are going to Radha Kund. We will be passing by the village that she was born, Khichdi Gaon. So please stay tuned for Putana's pastime tomorrow.
Mataji and Prabhuji. And also, I wanted to ask that if no one has any doubt, you can please tell something about Narottam Das Thakur because it was his disappearance day yesterday.
Wonderful. Yes, Srila Narottam Das Thakur, he was actually the son of a king, Krishnananda Das. And Narottam Das Thakur, from childhood, he was very much attracted to Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu, Lord Chaitanya. And it is said that then Narottam Das Thakur, he gave some of his kingdom, the responsibilities. He became the next heir to Krishnananda Das' kingdom. He gave it to his brothers and he went to Vrindavan. And in Vrindavan, he met, he actually met Lokanath Goswami, and who was serving Sri Radha Vinod in our Vrajamandal in the Vrindavan Panchakrosha Parikrama. We went to Sri Radha Vinod and Radha Gokulanandaji, both together in that temple. So Sri Radha Vinod were by Lokanath Goswami hanging from his neck on a cloth. That was the temple. And for them. And Lokanath Goswami had just come to go around the 12 forests of Vrindavan. And when Narottam Das Thakur met Lokanath Goswami, saw his such wonderful demeanor, beautiful demeanor, devotional, humble, he came to Lokanath Goswami. He said, I want to be your disciple. Please accept me as your disciple. Lokanath Goswami said, no, I'm not qualified. There are such great souls here and there. Look, Jiva Goswami, look at so many others. You should go and allow and take initiation from them. And Narottam Das Thakur was, no, I just want to accept you as my spiritual master. So Lokanath Goswami, then he said, no, I'm not qualified, and he left. Then Lokanath Goswami, every day, he would actually wake up, then do his morning duties, and then go to Yamuna, go to the ghat in Yamuna, and take bath there, and then come back.
So Narottam Das Thakur, he said that, it's okay if Loknath Maharaj, Loknath Goswami, he's not accepting me as his disciple, but still I will accept him. I accept him already as my guru, so I will serve him. So Loknath Goswami, wherever he would go to answer nature's call, early in the morning, Narottam Das Thakur, he would personally, with his own hands, he would clean that place. So that they would go out into the jungle and answer nature's call. And after that, go into the bath for Jamuna, in the bath in the Jamuna. And at that time, so Loknath Goswami, he would come every day and he would see that this place is so nice and clean, and he would go to the same place every day, but he would find it exceptionally clean. He would find it very, 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 very wonderfully clean and maintained. So Loknath Goswami was very surprised. So one night he actually stayed in hiding to see who is coming to clean this place. And he saw humble Narottam coming. And Narottam came and he, with his own hands, he just cleaned that area. And he, he was cleaning the area with his own hand. He, nicely arranged everything, and then he left. He didn't want anyone to even know that he was rendering this humble service to his Guru Maharaj. So the very next day, Loknath Goswami called Narottam Das Thakur and he initiated him, and he said that I have no way to show my gratitude to you that you are doing such selfless service to me, so therefore I initiate you. And Loknath Goswami had this only one disciple, which is Narottam Das Thakur. And Srila Narottam Das Thakur, he accepted Srila Jiva Goswami as his Shiksha Guru, and Diksha Guru is Lokanath Goswami. And he studied under Srila Jiva Goswami. And Jiva Goswami, he sent 3 devotees, Shamananda Pandit, Lokanath Goswami, Narottam Das Thakur and Srinivas Acharya. These 3 devotees are like the second generation after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So they are the disciples of the Goswamis. They were the second generation devotees. They were the first book distributors. So the Goswami literatures, it was copied, whatever the Goswamis were writing, especially Sanatan, Rupa, and Jiva Goswamis. These three Goswamis were writing different literatures, and their books, were copied, and under the instructions of Janava Mata, the associate of, consort of Lord Nityananda, under her direction, these three personalities, Narottam Das Thakur, Srinivasacharya, and Shamananda Pandit, these three were our first book distributors in our sampradaya. So, Narottam Das Thakur, they came back to their village, to Keturigram, and they were preaching, exponentially. They converted, villages after villages after villages into pure devotees of the Lord. So Narottam Das Thakur, very, very, very special personality. Beautiful songs he has written of Prarthana. That song that we sang the other day in glorification of Srila Narottam Das Thakur actually is Hari Bolbo or Madan Mohan Hari Bolbo. So beautiful songs he has written in his Prarthana. So this is in gist. I mean, we can go on about Srila Narottam Das Thakur, but
his disappearance was very, very miraculous, because he asked his disciples, take me to Ganges. And at the end of his life, all the disciples, they started pouring Ganges water on top of him. And suddenly they started seeing that his body became white. And as they poured more Ganges water, it became milky white and started merging into the Ganga with as a milk. And that was very, very, and so the disciples took that milk water and put it in a pot, and it's still there in Keturi Gram in his samadhi of Srila Narottam Das Thakur ki jai.
Thank you very much, Mataji and Prabhuji, for explaining about this pastime. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam. Hare Vrinda Gopika Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji and Prabhuji, Koti Koti Dandavat Pranam. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev ki jai. Mataji, there is when you are explaining the Leelas, and the darshan is amazing, Mataji. And today all the videos that we feel we are not qualified to enter in Dham, Mataji, but we feel that Leelas, and we enter in the Dham by your eyes, Mataji. We feel that Gurudev is explaining all the Leelas, that much potency. And Mataji, can you please sing that Bhisma Pitamaha's Stuti? My dad teach me. After a long time I hear, and make small video of bhajan and stutis and Shishi Radhastakam, and whenever you get time. We know that you are so busy. But
No. We are not busy at all. But yes, we will definitely make more videos of Bhishma Stuti. We'll do.
Thank you, Mataji. Hari Hari Gauranga, Koti Koti Dandavat Pranam. Siddham Vrindavan Dham ki jai.
And also all the photographs that you see, they are very, very personally, painstakingly, with a lot of patience and endeavor selected by Kala Sudha. So in Bhishma Stuti, when you saw, and yesterday also, when we saw the wonderful photographs of Krishna, where Narad Muni is describing Krishna, Bhishma Dev is describing Krishna, they were selected by Kala Sudha. In fact, all the photographs that we see in the slides. And so, yeah, that's all glories to
No, but I just select the
pictures. All the efforts.
No, I just select the pictures.
Mataji, we want to explain. Please forgive me. Yes, Prabhuji, I am not master in the computer, but I understand that it is not in 1-2 days. It is maybe month or 2, 3, 4 months. You work hard to make this all the project so that we can enter in all the dham, Mataji and Prabhuji. Koti Koti Dandavat Pranam. There is no words. We all are speechless. Like ऐसे खुला मुंह करके हम ऐसे देखते रहते और रोते रहते श्रीधाम वृंदावन में एंटर होते.
Actually, Mataji, I want to explain it, how we do it. Because Prabhu works, he is working. So during the day, I just spend, 4 or 5 hours in preparing the entire, script of our presentation, researching in different ways, and also selecting all the pictures. I just select the pictures, and then, in the evening after Prabhu finishes his work, Prabhu sits and he makes the PowerPoint presentations. Right after his work, he sits and he spends at least, it takes around 45 minutes for him minimum to make the PowerPoint presentations every single day, sometimes an hour also. So an hour and a half, it takes him to make the PPTs. So he makes the PowerPoint presentations at that time, and then we send it to Divyangi and Prem Vikas Prabhu, who do the screen sharing while we are speaking. So this is the entire process of the entire way we do the Parikrama every day. So
Yes, Mataji. Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev, special mercy and your hard work, Mataji. Srila Prabhupada,
it's
watching
actually
Mataji
very
everything.
loving. I love to do this service, that looking for these pictures.
And we are eagerly looking forward. This is the best time of the day when we can associate with all of you and share all these wonderful things that we have been fortunate to somehow go on these yatras and go to different places and to share with you. You are all so eager to hear and understand and appreciate the glories of Vrindavan Dham. Seeing your appreciation, our appreciation for these dhams grow more and more. So thank you all. We are just doing it for your pleasure. If you are all happy and satisfied with this service, that is our only aspiration.
Mataji, so many Vaishnava, so many 12 Srila Prabhupada India and abroad family are watching, and they are given a blessing to you, Mataji. You are working hard, and so many Vaishnavas appreciate. So I feel so happy that whatever you both are working hard to serve Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev, and Prabhuji Mataji. We are not qualified to enter in a Shita Vrindavan Dham, but by your eyes we enter. And yes, Mataji and Prabhuji, pray for us that next year we will be join these 40 course Shita Vrindavan Dham walking yatra, Mataji. Hari Hari Gauranga.
Hare Krishna. We thank all the devotees for your beautiful comments. We are not qualified for them, but we are just grateful for all of your blessings. That's what keeps us going. So we request all of you to please continue to be with us on this journey so that we may continue to serve all of you. Thank you so much.
Yes, Divyangi Mataji, Prem Vikas Prabhu ki jai for all that. All right,
Can you
if there
please
are no
sing
more.
Vishnu Stuti?
Oh, Bhishma Stuti?
2 minutes, please.
We'll just sing the 2 verses that are very, very dear to us. We'll just sing that for you. Shri Bhishma Vacha Iti Matirupakalpita Vitrishna Bhagavati Satvata Pungave Vibhumne Swasukhamupagate Kvachid Vihartum Prakritimupeyushiyad Bhava Pravaha Tribhuvana Kamanam Tamalavarnam Ravikaragoravaram Varam Dadhane Vapuralakakula Vritana Abjam Vijaya Sakhera Tirastu Me Anavadya.
Hari Hari Bol. Shri Bhishma Pitama Stuti ki jai. Dandavat Pranam Mataji Prabhuji.
Shri Krishna Dev ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Any other questions or comments we can take now? If not, we can end here. Pancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah.
Thank you so much, Mataji and Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam to both of you.
Hare Krishna Mataji Prabhuji,
Hare
Dandavat
Krishna Mataji
pranam.
and Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Prabhuji, thank you so much.
Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna Mataji Prabhuji, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Hare Krishna
Thank you for the class,
Mataji, Hari
Mataji.
Bol.
Thank you
Hare
so
Krishna
much.
Mataji, thank you.
Hare
Krishna Mataji Prabhuji, Koti Koti
Thank you
Dandavat
so
Pranam.
much.
Thank you, Dhiruma. Thank you, Haripur.
Hare Krishna Mataji.